The poem Amanda by Robin Klein is about a little girl, Amanda, who is constantly nagged by her mother about what to do and what not to do, to the extent that she creates an imaginary world of her own where she visualizes herself as characters like a beautiful mermaid drifting in the sea all alone, as an orphan roaming around the streets, full like completely free from all restrictions, and then as Rapunzel locked away in the tower. The message conveyed in the poem is that we as parents should give proper upbringing to the children. We should groom them properly, but never try to restrict their freedom to the extent that they feel imprisoned. We should not try to control and instruct the children, and they should not be deprived of their freedom. Now let's go through the poem stanza wise. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. The poet in this stanza describes Amanda who's continuously being instructed by her one of her parent, most probably her mother, about what to do and what not to do. In this place we see that her mother is pointing out her mistake and asking her not to bite her nails. Then she tells her not to bend her back and shoulders. She scolds her for walking in a lazy way with her head and shoulders hanging down and directs her to sit straight. There is a languid emerald sea, where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid drifting blissfully. So this portion is given in within brackets, which shows the imaginary world of Amanda. So whatever is given in the bracket, it shows Amanda's visions or Amanda's thought process. By listening to all the nagging of her mother, Amanda starts imagining herself to be in the deep green sea. She imagines how blissful her life would be if she were a mermaid, a sea god having a fishtail instead of legs. Then she would have enjoyed the sea waves and moved along the waves up and down in the water, completely free from all directions and instructions. Amanda uses her imaginary world as an escape point from day to day commands of her mother. She finds calm and peace in the Emerald Sea, whose only inhabitant is she. And in her own created world, she finds it very peaceful and joyful, free from all kind of restraints and confines. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. So in this stanza, we again see the mother the mother is now asking Amanda about whether she had finished her homework or had made her room tidy and she had cleaned her shoes or not. These set of instructions make a shift from the instructions given in stanza. Her name is being called again and again with an exclamation mark that signifies that the parents seem to be losing the mother seems to be losing her control. The mother is losing her cool and is troubled. I am an orphan roaming the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. So here Amanda is again lost in her own world, in her imaginary world. She's after getting a fresh list of instructions from her parents, she wishes to be away from this daily routine life, free of all the nagging. She perceives herself as an orphan roaming on the streets, free from all restraints and confines, moving aimlessly without any purpose. She seems happy as she draws patterns using her bare feet. The silence surrounding her is all golden and peaceful and calm, and she finds herself free with this freedom. This freedom, liberty is really sweet for her. Don't eat the chocolate, Amanda. Remember your acne, Amanda. Will you please look at me when I'm speaking to you, Amanda? Now, Amanda is stopped by her mother or her one of her parent from eating a chocolate as previously it had caused her ache. Or then she maybe due to overeating of chocolate, she's having a lot of acne, she's facing acne problem. Amanda is still lost in her own thoughts and doesn't care enough to look up to her parent. This carelessness further irritates the parent, annoys the parent, and the parent asks for her attention when she is being scolded. So the mother says that, "Will you look at me, or while I'm speaking to you?" Like anybody who's conversing with someone would definitely want an eye contact while speaking. But right now, as we see that Amanda kind of is avoiding her parent, it is as if she's not paying heed to what the parent is instructing her. So that is why the mother is getting irritated and she says, "Please look at me while I'm speaking to you." I'm Rapunzel. I have not a care. Life in a tower is tranquil and rare. I'll certainly never let down my bright hair. Now again, within the paragraph, these lines are given, so which shows her imaginary world again. Amanda, lost in her own dreams, she pictures herself in the law as a long, golden-haired Rapunzel living in a castle without a care about anything. So Amanda imagines that she is Rapunzel. She's leading the life of Rapunzel, which might have been very peaceful and fantastic in the tower, and she is so much so happy in the tower that she imagines that if she were Rapunzel, she would never let her hair down. She only wants to live by herself, all alone, in solitude, as the presence of another human being in her life would require her to act in a certain way, to follow instructions and commands. So she wants to live happily, freely, and all alone in a tower. Stop that sulking at once, Amanda. You're always so moody, Amanda. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. So the parent keeps instructing and commanding Amanda on the do's and don'ts, but Amanda remains lost in her own thoughts, in her own dreams. The parent believes that Amanda is not reacting because she's annoyed. Her behavior has made her parents look bad and they get worried about their image. So they are concerned that if somebody would see Amanda reacting to them in such a way, they would imagine that the parents, as parents, they have always been nagging at her and perceive them as if they have been nagging with the child, and they're concerned about how society will perceive them if their child always remains in a such a foul mood. Now let's go through some questions. So what are the essential qualities children which you would like to be exhibited by a mother? So, of course, you could give your own adjectives. You could say, like, a mother should be kind, empathetic, supportive, loving, caring, and respectful, should be patient with the kids, should have lot of patience while dealing with the kids, should come to the level of understanding of the child, and stop being dominating. Uh, Now, the next question could be, you've come across the character Rapunzel in the poem. So, who was Rapunzel? She actually was a young woman. It's a fairy tale. It was about a young woman, uh, Rapunzel, who had long hair and lived in a tower. She was held captive by a witch, and she had to let her hair loose down so that the prince could climb up and free her. But in this poem, as we see that Amanda wants to live the life of Rapunzel without letting her hair down because she does not want that going to the world, living with other people, or in fact living with others here means with her parents or anyone who is trying to dominate her. So she doesn't want to let her hair loose. She wants to stay in the tower all alone, peacefully in a tranquil environment. So, what are the negative effects of pride? Excessive pride prevents the growth of other virtues. It becomes too uncomfortable to recognize one's shortcomings or mistakes. So, we should not have that much amount of pride that we cannot think rationally and it dominates over other virtues. The poem conveys the moral that children need to be allowed more freedom. It is true that children need to be taught good manners, etiquettes, but parents should also remember that we need to give our children that personal space and ample time to learn and at the same time enjoy their life, their childhood. Excessive nagging and instructions and trying to dominate the children could make them annoyed and disobedient instead of the opposite, and hence they may develop a type of dislike for the real life. They could again, like Amanda, create their imaginary world. So it is our moral responsibility as parents to raise our children in a way that they understand our point of view rather than like imposing things on them. We should try to make the kids understand what is actually needed rather than trying to dominate them and impose things on them. The rhyming scheme in Amanda is A A B A C C C A A B A. Now, next if we come to think about the uh, this poetic devices used, we see repetition. Like Amanda is constantly being repeated in the poem, and it emphasizes the restrictions imposed on the little girl by the speaker, that is the mother or one of her parent. Other repeated words are don't, stop, so these words are repetition. Then allusion is used. It is what is allusion? It's an indirect reference to a person, place, thing, and idea. In the poem, Amanda refers to becoming a mermaid, and then again the character Rapunzel, a mermaid. Rapunzel. These are the imaginary characters, like she imagines herself to be. So allusion is used in the poem. Amanda alludes to these figures because she's stressed out. So she desires to escape from her parents' instructions and commands and live a life of freedom. Next is alliteration. We have stop that slouching and sit up straight. So this is alliteration. Stop that sulking. So these are examples of alliteration which has been used in the poem. Metaphor, like silence is golden and freedom is sweet. These are the metaphors used where an indirect comparison is drawn between the two things. Okay, here silence is said to be as precious as gold, and freedom is as sweet. It is like a sweet tasting fruit. So, so these are the metaphors used. Then we have anaphora, which is a device where certain words are used at the beginning of the successive sentences. Like we see, don't bite, don't hunch. So, did you finish? So we see the forms of do. Did you tidy? These are the examples of anaphora in the poem. Then the last one would be transferred epithet, like hushed, bared feet. So this is the transferred epithet where Amanda's feet aren't hushed or they aren't silent. Here, the phrase describes the silent way in which Amanda would make dust patterns with her feet as a street often. So she would like the silence, which is a golden for her, because she can hear her mother's voice always around her, directing her. So this is the end of the poem. So we see that the parent is trying to mold Amanda into an ideal, happy, well-behaved, obedient child, and the mother tries to control Amanda's behavior and her daily routine, her activities, and Amanda, in an effort to escape her realities of being controlled, turns to daydreams. So these daydreams, as the characters mention of Mermaid Rapunzel, often they signify her desire for freedom. So that's all for this poem. Thank you. Do subscribe to my channel for further videos.